Ask anyone what they remember about 2001, and you'll probably get the same answer. A single day that changed the world forever. But the year that kicked off the 21st century was so much more than just one event. From the launch of tech that would completely change how we watch and listen, to a corporate scandal that blew up the financial world, 2001 was a year of massive shifts. Today, we're counting down the 10 most epic events of 2001 to paint a fuller picture of a year you only think you remember. Stay tuned, I bet you didn't know this fun fact I would be telling you at the end of the video. Number 10, China joins the World Trade Organization. Kicking off our list at number 10 is an event that redrew the map of the global economy. On December 11, 2001, after 15 long years of negotiations, China officially joined the World Trade Organization. This wasn't just some formality. It was a game-changing move that plugged a nation of over 1 billion people directly into the world's marketplace. For China, it meant agreeing to open its markets and play by international trade rules. A decision that would turbocharge its economy for the next 2 decades. For the rest of the world, it meant getting access to a huge new market and what seemed like an endless supply of low-cost goods. This single decision laid the foundation for the global supply chains we rely on today and kicked off China's real rise as a 21st century superpower. The world we live in, from the phones in our hands to the shirts on our backs, was fundamentally shaped by this moment. Number 9, the Human Genome is published for our number 9 spot. We shift from the global economy to the very blueprint of life itself. On February 12, 2001, science took an incredible leap forward when researchers published the first complete draft of the human genome. For the first time ever, we could read our own instruction manual. This opened the door to understanding countless genetic diseases, from cystic fibrosis to Huntington's, and paved the way for revolutionary science like gene therapy and personalized medicine. We're still unlocking the full impact of this discovery, but make no mistake, this was the moment our future and our understanding of what it means to be human changed forever. Number 8, the Enron scandal explodes. Coming in at number 8 is a story of corporate greed so staggering, it's hard to believe it even happened. For most of 2001, the energy trading giant Enron was hailed as a titan of innovation, the 7th largest company in the US. But behind the curtain, a massive fraud was coming apart at the seams. The company was using a dizzying network of shell companies and shady accounting tricks to hide billions in debt while making their profits look incredible. The scandal didn't just wipe out the life savings of thousands of employees. It led to the collapse of Arthur Andersen, one of the world's biggest accounting firms, and shattered public trust in the market. Number 7, the Gujarat earthquake. At number 7, we mark a natural disaster of terrifying power. On the morning of January 26, 2001, while India was celebrating its 52nd Republic Day, a massive earthquake slammed the state of Gujarat. It registered a 7.7 on the magnitude scale, and while the epicenter was near a small village, the destruction radiated for hundreds of miles. Entire towns were leveled in just minutes. The official death toll was estimated at around 20,000 people, with more than 167,000 injured and hundreds of thousands suddenly homeless. The quake caused billions in damages, wiping out homes, infrastructure, and livelihoods. Number 6, a year of political change. Our number 6 spot highlights a year of major political shakeups around the world. In the United States, George W. Bush was inaugurated as the 43rd president on January 20th, after one of the most divisive elections in the country's history. His presidency would soon be defined by events that were still months away. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, a peaceful popular uprising, known as the Second People Power Revolution, forced President Joseph Estrada out of office over corruption charges, bringing Gloria Macapagal Arroyo to power. And in a historic move for Africa, the African Union was established in July, replacing the old Organization of African Unity with a new body designed to better promote democracy, human rights, and development across the continent. From Washington to Manila to Addis Ababa, 2001 was a year that saw power change hands and new political futures being forged. All right, we're halfway through the list, and it's pretty clear that 2001 was more complex than you might have remembered, Oh, and stick around. I still got that fun fact about 2001 coming up that you don't want to miss. If you're enjoying this look back at the events that shaped our world, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's next. And drop a comment below. Which of these events did you already know about, and which ones are totally new to you? We'd love to know. Now let's get back to the countdown. Number 5, the Second Intifada escalates. At number 5, we look at a conflict that reached a brutal new level of intensity. The Second Intifada, a widespread Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation that started in late 2000, escalated dramatically all through 2001. The year was defined by a horrifying cycle of violence that had the entire region on edge. The violence of 2001 dug the trenches of animosity and distrust even deeper on both sides, setting a grim and bloody tone for the years that would follow. Number 4, the India-Pakistan standoff. Number 4 on our list is a crisis that brought two nuclear-armed nations right to the edge of war. Tensions between India and Pakistan over the disputed territory of Kashmir were already sky-high, but they exploded after a terrorist attack on the Indian parliament in New Delhi on December 13, 2001. Pakistan responded in kind, matching the buildup with its own forces. Thankfully, diplomacy eventually won out, and the crisis de-escalated in 2002. But the standoff in 2001 was the most dangerous military confrontation the two countries had seen in decades, and a stark reminder of the volatility of one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. Number 3, the War on Terror is declared. Our number 3 event is the declaration that would define American foreign policy for the next 20 years and change international relations forever. In the days following the attacks on its own soil, the United States officially launched the War on Terror. This wasn't a war against a single country, but a broad global fight against terrorist organizations and any nation that gave them shelter. President George W. Bush laid out this new doctrine in an address to Congress on September 20th, saying, "Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated." This was a seismic policy shift. It led to the creation of the Department of Homeland Security, the passage of the controversial Patriot Act to expand surveillance, and for the first and only time in its history, NATO invoked its Mutual Defense Clause. Article 5 declaring the attack on the U.S. an attack on all of them. The world was suddenly divided. You were either with the United States or you were with the terrorists. Number 2, the invasion of Afghanistan. The first major military campaign of this new war on terror comes in at number 2. On October 7th, 2001, less than a month after 9/11, the United States and a coalition of allies launched Operation Enduring Freedom, the invasion of Afghanistan. The official mission was to destroy Al-Qaeda, the group behind the September 11th attacks, and to overthrow the Taliban regime that was giving them a safe place to operate. U.S. and British forces began a relentless bombing campaign against Taliban and Al-Qaeda positions, while special forces on the ground aided the Northern Alliance, a coalition of Afghan groups fighting the Taliban. The initial phase of the war was fast and it seemed successful. By mid-November, coalition forces had driven the Taliban from the capital, Kabul. By December, a new interim government was in place, and the world hoped this was the first step toward a stable, peaceful Afghanistan. This invasion was the start of what would become America's longest war, a conflict whose consequences are still very much with us today. Number 1, the September 11th attacks. There was never any doubt about what would be number 1 on this list, a moment so powerful it's burned into the memory of the entire world. On the morning of Tuesday, September 11th, 2001, 19 Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 passenger jets. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 flew into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. Just 17 minutes later, United Airlines Flight 175 hit the South Tower. By 10:28 a.m., both of the World Trade Center's iconic towers had collapsed. Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks, people from over 90 different countries. It was the deadliest terrorist attack in human history, an event that didn't just bring down buildings, it shattered the world's sense of safety. It launched wars, redrew geopolitical lines, and changed everything from how we travel to how much we are watched. 9/11 wasn't just the most epic event of 2001, it was the moment the 21st century truly began. Now let's get to the fun part I bet many didn't know anymore. From year 2001. Fun fact, the first ever iPod released by Apple could only hold 1,000 songs. In 2001, that felt infinite. Now your phone can probably hold every song you've ever liked and 3 seasons of cat videos. Conclusion. So that's our look back at 2001. From the rise of a new economic superpower and the mapping of our own DNA, to a corporate implosion and the threat of nuclear war, it was a year of staggering change. And while that one September morning will forever define it, it's clear that so many other forces were already at work, shaping the turbulent world we live in now. The year 2001 set the stage, and we've been living in its shadow ever since. Thanks for watching.